At 5:40 on a crowded Friday evening, 21-year-old Ethan finally found a seat on the metro. It happened to be a priority seat, but every ordinary seat was already occupied. Ethan looked healthy. He was wearing sneakers, carrying a backpack, and scrolling through his phone. What nobody around him could see was the metal brace under his jeans. 3 weeks earlier, he had undergone knee surgery after a sports injury. His doctor had told him to avoid standing for long periods on moving vehicles. Ethan could walk, but sudden movement or another fall could damage the healing joint. At the next station, an older woman entered with 2 shopping bags. She stopped directly in front of Ethan and looked at the priority seat sign, then at him. Ethan noticed, but he hesitated. He could explain his injury, yet he disliked discussing medical information with strangers. He also knew that if he stood, his knee might begin to hurt before he reached home. The woman sighed loudly. Another passenger whispered, "Young people today just pretend not to see." Someone across the aisle began recording with a phone. Ethan felt his face become hot. He quietly said, "I'm sorry. I need the seat too." The woman looked surprised. "You look perfectly fine," she replied. Ethan considered showing his brace, but that made him even more uncomfortable. Why should he have to prove that he was injured? A middle-aged passenger stood and offered the woman his own seat. The immediate problem was solved, but the conversation did not end. One passenger argued that priority seats should mainly be kept available for older adults, pregnant passengers, and people with obvious mobility difficulties. Otherwise, the system would become meaningless. Another passenger disagreed. She had a chronic heart condition and said she often needed to sit even though nobody could tell by looking at her. "The problem," she said, "is that we think we can identify need just by looking at someone's body." The video of Ethan appeared online that evening. The first version showed only a young man sitting while an older woman stood. Comments quickly accused him of selfishness. Later, someone posted the longer clip in which Ethan mentioned his injury. Many commenters apologized. Others said he should simply have explained himself earlier. Ethan read the comments and wondered why a person using an accessible space had to reveal private health information before strangers would believe him. The transit company had recently changed the wording around priority seating to emphasize need rather than age alone, but social expectations were harder to change than signs. Some people suggested removing specially designated seats entirely and encouraging passengers to offer any seat to anyone who seemed to need it. Others argued that without clearly protected seats, people with mobility needs might have even less chance of sitting. Ethan's knee eventually healed, but he never forgot the feeling of being judged by a train full of strangers who thought they could see everything they needed to know. When a need is invisible, who should decide who deserves the seat, and should anyone have to prove that they need it?